Crash, correction, or continued growth. And I know if you go out onto YouTube and you look up a lot of videos, you're going to see people talking about crashes, you're going to hear about corrections, you're going to hear about bubbles, you're going to hear all this kind of very, very aggressive, very clickbait vernacular going out there in the market. And so I thought it's our job as people who actually sell real estate, and I think it's important to say that, because be aware that some of the articles you'll read may be and are written by journalists. There's nothing wrong with that. But being on the ground, dealing with buyers and sellers every day allows you to understand the human psychology. So why now? Why is it so relevant and what's changed so much in the last 5 months? Well, for those of you who have been living under a rock, the stock market has been very, very rocky. Portfolios have taken big hits, 15, 20% or more. Interest rates are the highest they've been in years, and inflation seems to be out of control. And with that, confidence seems to be affected. And as we know, mass psychology is a big influence within markets. And it's the reflection of that mass psychology that will help you understand what happens next. So we're going to get into this report, and I'm going to highlight the 4 areas that we're going to cover. Primary versus secondary. Okay, primary, as you should know, is your primary home, the house that you live in all year round. You don't rent it out. It's where you live with your family. For the most part, you're talking about existing families that live within Miami, migratory families that have moved in. It could be even empty nesters, but it's still their home. They're still living there all year round. Unlike the second category, which is your investment product or your second home. The rental market, rental sustainability. We have seen incredible rental growth, and lots of investors have been flooding in because they saw rents, for example, in Brickell, which we did a piece for the Channel 7 News, went from $4,000 to $8,000 to $10,000 a month. That is a massive hike. And when you see that amount of appreciation and that level of return on investment, it's become very desirable to run into these markets and buy up real estate. Question is, can we sustain that? So that part 3 is a big one, and it is 3 sections, and it's important to recognize that the macro markets have obviously a fundamental effect on every asset class. Conclusions. This is wrapping this all up. This is really where we get into the point where we understand the full dynamic of our market. And then when we get into this market, you have to understand that there is the entry level, there is the working wealthy, there is the prime, and there's the super prime. Prime and super prime, otherwise known as luxury or ultra luxury. And all of them, as you would imagine, are very different in terms of their performance, their behavior, and what they're influenced by.